It all began on an ordinary afternoon. A sleek black SUV pulled into a barren gas station, its driver in a hurry. As the man refueled and hurried into the convenience store, his once beloved companion Taylor, a golden retriever with a heart as big as the open road, jumped out, eager to explore. But when the driver returned, the dog was nowhere in sight. Mark, gas station attendant, softly, "Hey, buddy." Taylor waited, his hope undimmed by confusion. The fading afternoon sun cast long shadows over the lonely station, marking the beginning of an unforeseen chain of events. Elderly woman, murmuring, handing a piece of bread to Mark. "People are so careless. How can someone leave a loyal friend like him?" Mark, gently placing the bread near Taylor. "I wish I could do more for him." As dusk settled, Taylor remained at his post. He did not bark or chase after the passing cars. He simply waited, his eyes locked on the distant road, as if expecting the return of the one who had forgotten him. Word of the abandoned dog spread among the few souls who frequented the lonely station. Some offered scraps of food, others whispered about the cruelty of a callous world. Mark, softly to Taylor, "You deserve better than this, buddy." Days passed, and Taylor's unwavering vigil stirred something deep within the hearts of strangers. Mark, unable to shake his worry, posted a picture of Taylor online, pleading for help and a home for the forsaken dog. The post exploded with empathy, a tidal wave of shares and comments offering to adopt, care, and save Taylor from his lonely fate. Mark, typing on his phone, determined, "Left behind at the pump. This loyal pup needs a home. Does anyone recognize him?" Yet despite the outpouring of kindness, the return of Taylor's owner remained elusive. With each passing day, the bittersweet hope of reunion battled against the dog's growing weariness. On the fifth day, a kind stranger named Lisa, an animal rescue volunteer, stepped into the scene. "We can take him in," she said, her voice gentle yet firm. With hesitation, Mark consented, knowing that Taylor's fragile spirit could no longer endure the cruel neglect of abandonment. Lisa, soothingly as she coaxes Taylor, "Come on, Taylor. Let's get you safe." For Taylor, the car's interior offered both an escape and a mystery, a new world where healing might finally begin. At the rescue center, Taylor underwent a full medical checkup. Though his body showed signs of neglect, his spirit held on to a quiet resilience. Slowly, the dedicated staff and volunteers created an environment filled with love and care, a sanctuary where every animal was given a chance to heal. Veterinarian, reassuringly checking Taylor's vitals. "He's malnourished and stressed, but there's hope if we nurture him with the right care." As days melted into weeks, Taylor began to show subtle changes. He would gaze out of the window with a quiet intensity, as if trying to decipher the mysteries of his past while embracing the promise of his future. Then, on an ordinary afternoon that would change everything, Taylor's true nature revealed itself. A frightened stray puppy was brought to the shelter, a creature trembling with uncertainty and fear. In that moment, something extraordinary happened. Taylor, once broken by abandonment, instinctively took on a protective role. Gently nudging the puppy and lying beside it for comfort, he became an unspoken guardian. Lisa, watching in amazement, "Look at him. It's as if he's found a new purpose." That simple act of kindness sparked a transformation, not just in Taylor but in everyone who witnessed it. He began to serve as a therapy dog, a beacon of hope and reassurance for the other rescued animals. But just as the first hints of a new life were dawning, a ghost from Taylor's past reemerged. A call came from a man claiming to be Taylor's owner. His name was Jeremy, a man whose return was as sudden as it was unsettling. Jeremy, on the phone, his voice edged with urgency. "This is my dog. You have no right to keep him." Lisa, firmly, yet with concern. "Jeremy, if this is really your dog, you must explain why you left him at that gas station." Jeremy's explanation was tangled. A tale of a broken-down car, unforeseen delays, and excuses that rang hollow against the evidence of neglect. His reappearance threatened to upend Taylor's newfound sanctuary and the bonds that had begun to mend his shattered heart. The situation escalated quickly. With conflicting claims of ownership and the welfare of the animal at stake, Mark and Lisa knew that Taylor's future hung in the balance. Determined to fight for the dog's best interests, they began preparing for what could only be a turbulent legal battle, a battle that would test not only their resolve, but the very meaning of compassion and responsibility. Mark, resolutely, glancing at the evidence. "If we can show the court that Taylor is happier here, that he's healed, then we owe it to him to keep him safe." Attorney, nodding, reviewing documents. "We have a strong case. The evidence of neglect, and now the transformation he's undergone, speaks for itself." In a modest courtroom charged with emotion and high stakes, the trial began. On one side was Jeremy, a man who insisted that his mistakes were born a hardship, and on the other, Mark and Lisa, whose evidence and heartfelt testimony painted a different picture. The welfare of Taylor was the silent but powerful focus of the proceedings. Jeremy's lawyer, passionately addressing the court, "My client may have faltered, but his love for Taylor remains. Financial troubles do not equate to neglect." Mark, taking the stand, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "When I first saw Taylor, I saw a dog who had been left to suffer. His ribs were visible, and his eyes told a story of betrayal. I couldn't stand by and watch his spirit wither." The courtroom drama unfolded as testimonies interwove the past and present. Expert witnesses, including a retired veterinarian, testified to Taylor's condition, while neighbors and shelter volunteers recounted their encounters with the gentle soul. Every piece of evidence reinforced the undeniable truth. Taylor was better off where he was nurtured with love and care. As the trial reached its climax, every heart in the courtroom, judge, jurors, and onlookers alike, felt the weight of Taylor's silent plea. The arguments grew more impassioned, and amidst the tension, a moment of vulnerability emerged. Mark recalled the day he first found Taylor at the gas station, a day etched in his memory with heartbreak and hope. That memory became his rallying cry for justice. Mark, quietly, with conviction. "This isn't just about a dog. It's about every creature that has been cast aside, every soul in need of compassion." And then, as if on cue, a breakthrough arrived. A kind witness, Angela, a former neighbor of Jeremy, stepped forward with damning evidence. Photographs of Taylor in his most vulnerable state, a testament to the neglect that had once defined his existence. Angela, tearfully to the court, "I saw him, shivering in the cold, barely surviving. No dog deserves to be left like that." After hours of impassioned testimony, the judge retired to deliberate. The silence was deafening, each moment stretching into an eternity. When the verdict was finally read, it carried not just legal weight, but the promise of a better life for Taylor, a life forged by compassion and relentless determination. Judge, gravely reading the verdict. In light of the evidence presented and in the best interest of the animal's welfare, custody of Taylor shall remain with the shelter, pending further review. Compassion must prevail over negligence. The decision was a bittersweet victory, a testament to the power of community and the unyielding spirit of a dog who had once been abandoned. Taylor's journey, marred by neglect yet illuminated by kindness, had become a symbol of hope for all those who had ever been forgotten. In the weeks and months that followed the trial, life at the rescue center blossomed into something truly remarkable. Taylor, once a silent witness to abandonment, now played the role of a guardian angel to his fellow rescued animals. His transformation had inspired a wave of support from the community, with new volunteers, donations, and even adoptions breathing fresh life into the center. Lisa, smiling as she watches Taylor play. "Look at him. He's become a beacon of hope for so many here." Mark, too, found himself irrevocably changed by the experience. What began as an act of simple kindness had evolved into a deep, unspoken bond, a friendship that transcended the boundaries of ownership and embraced the true meaning of love. Mark, reflectively as he watches Taylor interact with other dogs. Every day, he reminds me that even in the darkest moments, there's a light that can guide us home. And so, as the sun set on the past and rose on a future full of promise, Taylor's story became more than just a tale of abandonment. It became a testament to resilience, redemption, and the transformative power of love. In the quiet moments of twilight, when the world seemed to pause in reflection, one thing was certain: every life, no matter how small or neglected, carries within it the strength to heal, to hope, and to change the world. In the immediate hours following the courtroom's decision, the rain fell softly, an echo of the emotional storm that had just passed. Though Taylor's future now seemed secured at the shelter, Mark's heart still ached with the remnants of guilt and sorrow as he reflected on the neglected past that had led to this very moment. Mark, whispering to himself, "Will we ever truly heal from this?" Inside the shelter, Lisa struggled with the complexities of justice and compassion. Though the verdict had been a victory for Taylor's welfare, she knew that the scars of neglect would not fade overnight. Each piece of evidence, every harsh word in the courtroom, reminded her that the path to healing was neither simple nor swift. Lisa, softly, as she types an email to the attorney, "We need to ensure that this case sets a precedent. No animal should ever suffer this way again." Away from the shelter's supportive chaos, Mark found himself wrestling with a profound internal conflict. The weight of responsibility, both for Taylor's welfare and his own future, pressed heavily on him. Late into the night, under the glow of a solitary lamp, he pored over notes and memories, questioning his decisions and longing for redemption. Mark, murmuring to himself as he writes, "Am I strong enough to give Taylor the life he deserves? Can my love heal the wounds of his past?" Within the walls of the rescue center, a quiet transformation began. Taylor, once the embodiment of forlorn hope, now showed signs of renewal. As gentle therapy sessions and daily care wove their magic, The dog slowly rediscovered a warmth of trust, a trust not just in his caregivers, but in the promise of a new beginning. Volunteer, reassuringly while brushing Taylor's fur. Every day you're becoming stronger, boy. Your heart is healing. Behind the scenes, the legal team worked tirelessly. Every detail of Taylor's recovery, every testimony from the shelter's staff, and each piece of photographic evidence was meticulously compiled. Their goal, to set a new standard for animal welfare, a legal frontier where compassion outweighed bureaucracy. Attorney determined while highlighting a document, "This isn't just a case for one dog. It's a battle for every voiceless creature who's ever suffered in silence." News of Taylor's transformation and the unfolding legal battle began to capture the public's attention. Local media outlets painted a picture of a once-abandoned dog rising from despair, stirring public sentiment and igniting conversations about the rights of all living beings. Reporter, on camera, with empathy. From the ashes of neglect to the light of hope, Taylor's story has become a rallying cry for change, reminding us that every life matters. For Mark, the journey extended far beyond legal battles and courtroom dramas. It became a personal pilgrimage, a quest to redefine his own purpose and reconcile with the choices of his past. Every morning, as the city awoke to a new day, he found solace in the quiet promise of sunrise, a reminder that each day offered a chance for redemption. Mark, quietly speaking to the sunrise, "Today, I choose hope. Today, I choose to make things right." As Taylor's case gained momentum, the shelter became a beacon for community support. People from all walks of life came together, united by a shared belief in compassion and justice. Their collective efforts not only eased the burdens of the shelter, but also transformed it into a sanctuary of hope, a place where every creature could find solace and a second chance. Community member, cheerfully handing out refreshments. "Here's to a future where no animal is left behind." Just as a sense of peace began to settle over the rescue center, an ominous sign appeared, a stark reminder that the battle for justice was far from over. On a stormy night, a black sedan rolled to a halt at the shelter's entrance. Its arrival sent ripples of unease among the staff as they braced for yet another confrontation with the ghosts of Taylor's past. Lisa, alarmed, speaking into her phone. "Security, please check the entrance. We have an unexpected visitor." The mysterious visitor wasn't alone. Rumors began to surface of a hidden network determined to exploit the vulnerabilities of the system. Whispers of corruption, secret agendas, and the exploitation of the vulnerable echoed through the community. The envelope delivered that night would soon reveal connections that stretched far beyond a single case, threatening to unravel the very fabric of the movement for animal rights. Unknown accomplice, in a low, menacing tone. "Make sure you have everything. Once this reaches the right hands, nothing will be the same." In the wake of unsettling events, the staff and volunteers convened to face a new, unforeseen challenge. The fight was no longer just for Taylor. It was for every creature left vulnerable by neglect and exploitation. As emotions ran high and voices blended into a chorus of defiance, each person vowed to protect the sanctuary they had built. Lisa, with steely determination, "We cannot allow fear to silence our mission. Taylor's story has already changed so many lives. Now it's our turn to ensure that this shelter remains a safe haven." As the challenges mounted, Mark reached a crossroads in his journey. Torn between the weight of his past mistakes and the promise of a brighter future, he made a decision that would not only define his destiny, but also serve as a testament to the transformative power of unconditional love. Mark, resolutely as he writes in his journal, "I may not be able to change everything, but I will fight for what matters. For Taylor, for every forgotten soul." With each new dawn, the shelter began to embody the resilience of the human and animal spirit. Taylor's transformation served as a beacon for change, inspiring initiatives to improve animal welfare, strengthen community bonds, and ensure that no creature would ever again be left to face neglect alone. Volunteer, smiling broadly while handing a bowl of food to Taylor. Today is a new beginning, one built on hope, perseverance, and love. As the shelter expanded its horizons, the legacy of Taylor's journey became a catalyst for broader change. What started as a story of abandonment had evolved into a movement, a shared commitment to protect and nurture every life that crossed their path. Lisa, addressing a group of new volunteers. Let Taylor's journey remind us that every act of kindness sparks a ripple that can change the world. In the twilight of a long and arduous journey, the once abandoned dog had become a symbol of resilience, compassion, and the power of second chances. Mark, Lisa, and the entire community learned that while scars may never fully fade, they can give way to strength, hope, and a future where every life is cherished. Mark, softly, as he watches Taylor. Every day with you is a reminder that love conquers even the darkest past. And so, as the chapters of this story turned into legends of compassion, one truth remained undeniable. No matter the hardships of the past, a single act of kindness can ignite the flame of change. And that flame will forever burn in the hearts of those who dare to believe in a better tomorrow. In the shadows of the legal battle, an unexpected ally emerged. A private investigator, hired by the shelter's legal team, began uncovering disturbing patterns behind Jeremy's past. Hidden within a maze of files and confidential reports lay evidence of systemic neglect, an intricate web of misdeeds that reached far beyond one man's mistakes. Investigator, speaking into a voice recorder, his tone measured and grave. Multiple reports, unpaid fines, and neglect charges. This isn't just an isolated incident. There's a network at work, and Jeremy's behavior is merely a symptom. Memories of a time when Jeremy had once been a loving companion to Taylor were interwoven with painful evidence of neglect. The flashbacks painted a poignant picture. A man once capable of care, now entangled in personal demons and a failing system that allowed his mistakes to persist. Lisa, reflectively, as she studies an old family photo of Jeremy and Taylor. Every person has a story, but sometimes the past is a burden too heavy to bear alone. Inspired by Taylor's journey and the growing evidence against systemic neglect, the community rallied. What began as a solitary fight transformed into a powerful movement, a chorus of voices demanding accountability, transparency, and a future where every animal was treated with dignity. Community leader, raising a megaphone with conviction. Today we stand together not only for Taylor but for every soul that had been silenced by neglect. In a groundbreaking presentation, the investigator unveiled the full extent of the corruption behind Jeremy's case. The evidence linked influential figures to a network that profited from animal neglect, sparking a firestorm of public outrage. This was not merely a case about one dog. It was a call to dismantle a broken system. Attorney, pointing at the digital screen, voice firm. These documents reveal a disturbing pattern of neglect and exploitation that has cost countless lives. It's time for change, and we will no longer be silenced. The tension reached its zenith one stormy evening when Jeremy, desperate and defiant, appeared at the shelter. With the community's support behind them and the mounting evidence in hand, Mark and Lisa prepared for the ultimate confrontation, one that would decide not only Taylor's fate, but the future of countless vulnerable animals. Jeremy, shouting anger and desperation in his eyes, "You can't keep him! He's mine! He always was mine!" Mark, calm yet resolute, "Your neglect has cost him more than you can imagine, Jeremy." This ends now. As the courtroom doors closed behind the final arguments, the weight of truth pressed upon every witness, juror, and heart in the room. The judge, after careful deliberation, was tasked with not only deciding Taylor's fate, but also sending a message to a system marred by exploitation. Judge, gravely addressing the courtroom, "In the interests of justice and the welfare of those who cannot speak for themselves, this court finds that the evidence overwhelmingly supports the need for systemic reform. Taylor's safety and the safety of all vulnerable animals must be our priority." With the verdict delivered and a mandate for systemic change, a new chapter unfolded at the shelter. Taylor's transformation had ignited not just local reform, but also broader initiatives to protect animal welfare. The shelter expanded its mission, becoming a center for education, advocacy, and healing. Lisa, addressing a group of volunteers, her voice filled with hope. "This is our moment. Let Taylor's journey remind us that every act of love creates ripples of change. Today, we build a future where no animal is left behind." In the wake of a hard-fought battle, the legacy of Taylor's story was enshrined within the hearts of all who had witnessed his transformation. His journey from abandonment to becoming a beacon of hope became a rallying cry, a reminder that love, persistence, and community could rewrite even the darkest stories. Mark, placing a framed photo of Taylor on a wall. "Let every image, every story here remind us that change is possible when we choose compassion over indifference." As the night settled over the shelter, the journey that had begun with a lonely dog waiting at a desolate gas station had blossomed into a movement of hope and transformation. Taylor's unyielding heart had not only healed his own wounds, but had also sparked a revolution of love and reform, one that would echo far beyond the shelter's walls. Lisa, whispering to Mark as they share a quiet smile, "We did it. Together, we gave hope a home." And so, the legacy of Taylor endures, a story of resilience, redemption, and the power of community. In every life saved, every heart mended, and every act of kindness, his spirit lives on, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, hope is just a heartbeat away. In the wake of the courtroom victory and the sweeping reforms that followed, the shelter underwent a profound transformation. No longer a place defined by sorrow and neglect, it now shone as a beacon of hope, a sanctuary rebuilt on the foundations of compassion, accountability, and unwavering commitment to animal welfare. Lisa, addressing a group of new volunteers, "Every brick in this building, every smile on our faces, is proof that we can turn pain into purpose. Today, we start a new chapter together." At the heart of this new beginning was Taylor, whose journey from abandonment to hero had sparked a revolution of kindness. Each day, as the sun rose and set, Taylor's gentle spirit brought smiles and renewed hope not only to his fellow animals, but also to everyone who witnessed his transformation. Volunteer, laughing as Taylor bounds past. Look at him go. He reminds us that every moment is a chance to start over. As the shelter flourished, so too did the bond between the community and its mission. What began as an isolated effort to save one dog had grown into a movement, a diverse family united by the belief that every life deserves care and dignity. Community leader, raising a glass in a toast, to hope, to healing, and to the remarkable journey that brought us all together. For Mark, the struggle had evolved into a calling. No longer a reluctant bystander, he had embraced his role as a guardian, a mentor, advocate, and friend to both animals and people alike. Every day was a testament to the healing power of second chances. Mark, reflectively, looking at the framed photo. Saving Taylor saved me too. I've learned that every act of care ripples outward, changing lives in ways we never imagined. In quiet moments away from the bustle of the sanctuary, Mark found solace in reflection. The journey had been long and fraught with challenges, yet each hardship had taught him the true meaning of resilience. As he gazed upon the tranquil waters, he understood that healing is not linear. It is a tapestry woven from both struggles and triumphs. Mark, softly, almost to himself, every scar, every tear has led us here, to a place where love can truly mend what was once broken. Beyond the tangible renovations, the shelter embarked on an educational mission, cultivating a new generation of compassionate advocates. Through workshops, outreach programs, and interactive learning experiences, children and adults alike discovered that every life matters and that empathy is the cornerstone of progress. Teacher, enthusiastically, holding up a picture of Taylor. Taylor's story teaches us that kindness isn't just an act, it's a way of life. Every one of you has the power to make a difference. Even as progress blossomed, challenges remained. Bureaucratic hurdles and the slow pace of systemic reform tested the resolve of everyone at Hope Haven. Lisa found herself once again navigating complex negotiations, a reminder that true change often demands relentless perseverance. Lisa, firmly into the phone, "We must act swiftly. The well-being of our animals and the integrity of our community depends on it." Fueled by the success of their recent triumphs, the community gathered to discuss the future of animal rights. In this forum of ideas and determination, voices of advocacy merged into a powerful call for comprehensive reforms that would safeguard every vulnerable life. Community activist, addressing the audience. "We've witnessed what love can achieve. Now let's extend that compassion to create laws that protect all living beings." A year after the watershed moment in Taylor's life, the shelter hosted its first annual memorial celebration, a time to honor the past, celebrate the present, and inspire future change. It was a testament to the unyielding spirit of community, resilience, and the belief that every life can leave an indelible mark on the world. Lisa, on stage addressing the crowd. "Tonight, we honor not just Taylor, but every animal and every person who dared to believe that a better world is possible." As the celebration wound down and the night embraced the shelter, a promise lingered in the air, a promise of unwavering dedication, continuous growth, and a future built on empathy and justice. Taylor's journey had transcended his own life, becoming a living testament to the transformative power of love and community spirit. Mark, quietly, with heartfelt resolve. We will carry this legacy forward, ensuring that every soul, no matter how lost, finds its way home. In the years that followed, Hope Haven became more than a shelter. It became a movement. Taylor's once abandoned spirit had ignited a fire of change, inspiring countless acts of kindness, legislative reforms, and a community that refused to stand by in silence. His legacy, etched in every rescued animal, every heartfelt smile, and every new life given a second chance, became a reminder that love, once ignited, can transform even the bleakest circumstances into hope. And so, as the chapters of this story continue to be written, one truth remains eternal. A single act of compassion can spark a revolution, one that endures long after the echoes of hardship have faded. Taylor's journey is far from over. It lives on in every life touched by his unyielding heart. Taylor's journey had grown into a movement that resonated far beyond the local community. His transformation became a symbol of hope for advocates around the world. At an international animal welfare conference, leaders and experts gathered to share innovative ideas and pledge renewed commitment to protect vulnerable lives. Conference speaker, addressing the crowd, passion in every word. Taylor's story reminds us that even a single act of compassion can ignite a global revolution. Let us commit to ending animal neglect in every corner of the world. Inspired by Taylor's remarkable journey, an international coalition unveiled Project Taylor, a comprehensive program designed to educate, advocate, and reform animal welfare policies across nations. This ambitious initiative sought to bridge gaps between communities, governments, and animal care organizations. Project leader, firmly, gesturing toward a detailed presentation. Our goal is clear: to ensure that every animal, regardless of where they are, receives the care and protection they deserve. Taylor's legacy will drive change on a global scale. Even as the world celebrated newfound hope, personal battles continued to test the hearts of those who had dedicated themselves to change. For Mark, the journey was far from over. Amid the triumphs, he faced internal struggles, questions of self-worth, and the challenge of reconciling past guilt with future promise. Mark, softly, speaking to himself as he gazes at the twilight sky. Every step forward carries the weight of the past, but every heartbeat reminds me that change is possible even for the broken. Lisa, ever the heart of the movement, found her strength in the faces of those she helped. Leading educational sessions and support groups, she transformed her personal pain into a powerful tool for change. Her workshops became sanctuaries of hope, where the stories of rescued animals and their caregivers intertwined to create a narrative of redemption. Lisa, inspiring a group of attentive participants. Through every trial, our compassion grows. We are the architects of a future where every life is valued and every voice is heard. The path to transformation is rarely free of sacrifice. Behind every victory lay the cost of relentless advocacy, personal sacrifices, financial strain, and moments of profound isolation. In quiet moments away from the public eye, Mark confronted these burdens, realizing that the fight for justice demanded unwavering courage, even when the odds were stacked against him. Mark, into the phone, with a steadiness that belied his inner turmoil. We must keep pushing forward, even when the weight of it all seems unbearable. Taylor's future, and that of countless others, depends on it. As Project Taylor gained momentum, it soon encountered its most formidable challenge, a battle within the halls of power. Skeptical lawmakers and powerful lobbyists, resistant to change, began to oppose the sweeping reforms. The stage was set for a final showdown where the future of animal rights would hang in the balance. Animal advocate, passionately addressing the chamber. We cannot stand idle while outdated practices and vested interests continue to harm innocent lives. Today, we fight for a world where every creature is protected by law and compassion. In a defining moment that would resonate for years to come, the legal battle for comprehensive animal welfare reforms reached its crescendo. With the compelling evidence amassed by the legal team and the unwavering support of the community, the court delivered a verdict that not only affirmed Taylor's legacy, but also paved the way for lasting change. Judge, solemnly with authority, in recognition of the overwhelming evidence and in the interest of justice, this court upholds the reforms necessary to ensure the protection of all vulnerable animals. Let this be a new beginning for our society. The courtroom victory rippled outward, inspiring sweeping legislative changes at national and international levels. New policies, informed by Project Taylor, were enacted to safeguard animal rights and promote ethical treatment across all sectors. The triumph was not merely legal, it was a monumental step toward a more compassionate world. Government official, smiling, addressing the press. Today, we affirm our commitment to protecting every living being. Thanks to the relentless efforts of advocates and the inspiring journey of one remarkable dog, we are turning a new page in history. As the reforms took root and the world began to change, Taylor's legacy endured, transcending borders and cultures. His journey from a desolate gas station to the halls of international reform served as a powerful reminder that every life is interconnected and that hope, when nurtured, can transform our world. In every rescued animal, in every act of kindness, Taylor's spirit endures. His story is a timeless testament to the power of compassion. In the final moments of our journey, the promise remains clear that even in a world scarred by neglect and indifference, a single act of love can set in motion a chain of transformation. Taylor's life is proof that courage, compassion, and relentless determination can rewrite destiny. Mark, voiceover as the montage plays. May we never forget that every life has worth, and may the spirit of hope that Taylor ignited continue to light our path forward. As Project Taylor evolved, leaders and activists from around the globe came together, determined to forge a united front against animal neglect. This summit, held in a city steeped in history and culture, became a melting pot of ideas, a place where language, tradition, and compassion converged to form a new alliance. International delegate, with passion, let us transform our differences into strengths. Together we can create policies that protect every life, no matter where it calls home. The summit culminated in the signing of the Global Animal Welfare Accord, a pledge by nations to elevate the rights and well-being of every living creature. Taylor's journey had become a universal symbol of change, inspiring this unprecedented coalition to create tangible, lasting reform. World leader, solemnly, while signing the accord. Today, we honor the spirit of resilience and the power of unity. Let this pact be the first step toward a kinder, more just world. Amid global triumphs and international alliances, Mark found time for introspection. Far above the bustling world below, he allowed himself a moment of solitude, a time to reconcile past sorrows with the promise of a brighter future. Mark, softly, almost to himself, "Every choice, every sacrifice has led us here. I see now that healing is an unending journey, a tapestry of joy, pain, and unwavering hope. In the comforting embrace of old friends and kindred spirits, Mark rediscovered the joy of shared purpose. Each reunion rekindled the spark that had once set him on this transformative path, an enduring reminder that every act of kindness creates bonds that span both time and distance. Friend, cheerfully, clinking a cup with Mark, to the memories that guide us in the future we build, here's to every heart that dares to care. As the torch of compassion passed to a new generation, the community center evolved into an incubator for future advocates. Youth from all walks of life learned that every act of empathy was a building block for a better tomorrow, a world where the echoes of neglect were replaced by the voices of hope. Teacher, enthusiastically pointing at a mural, "Every brushstroke here tells a story. Taylor's journey is our reminder that no challenge is too great when hearts unite." Innovation emerged as another cornerstone of the movement. With resources pooled from international allies and community donors, teams of brilliant minds worked side by side to pioneer solutions that would revolutionize animal welfare. Their projects, fueled by the passion of Taylor's legacy, promised not only to protect lives, but also to foster sustainable progress. Lead engineer, excitedly demonstrating a prototype. "This technology will transform animal shelters worldwide, ensuring that no creature is ever left unseen or unheard again." As a new day broke over the transformed world, the legacy of Taylor's journey continued to echo in every corner, from the corridors of global policy to the hearts of individual advocates. His story had grown from a single spark into an unyielding flame that lit the way for generations to come. In the gentle rise of the sun, we find the promise of renewal. Taylor's spirit lives on in every act of kindness, every step taken in the name of justice and compassion. In the quiet corners of the sanctuary, amidst blooming flowers and whispering trees, the tribute to Taylor grew into a living monument, a testament that every life touched by kindness creates ripples of change that endure beyond time. Lisa, gazing at the memorial with quiet emotion. Here, in every note and every bloom, we see the proof that hope is not fleeting, it is eternal. And so, the journey that began with a lonely dog at a desolate gas station became a timeless legend, a call to every soul that dares to care. Taylor's legacy is woven into the fabric of a global movement, a testament to the truth that hope, once kindled, burns bright and everlasting. Mark, voiceover filled with conviction and quiet pride. Let us carry this flame forward, nurture in every life with love, empathy, and unyielding determination. The story of Taylor is our guide, a beacon for all who believe that kindness can change the world. In the years following the monumental reforms, society began to reshape itself, a world where empathy and responsibility were woven into the very fabric of urban life. Taylor's story had become more than a symbol. It was a daily reminder that every life deserves dignity and care. Look around. You'll see that change isn't a distant dream, but a living, breathing reality. But even as hope flourished, new challenges emerged. Economic shifts and political turbulence threatened to undermine the progress achieved through reform. powerful lobby groups seeking to reassert control began to question the sustainability of the newfound compassion. Corporate executive, sternly, during a heated discussion, "We must reconsider these reforms. They're straining our budgets and disrupting established markets." Lisa, passionately addressing the group, "We have built this legacy together. Now more than ever, we must stand firm. Our mission is not negotiable. Every animal, every life is worth protecting." Mark, nodding with determination. "This isn't just about policies. It's about preserving our collective humanity. We'll find a way to overcome these obstacles." Across the globe, the movement rallied once more. Technology and social media bridged continents, uniting voices in a call for perseverance. The global community embraced a renewed determination to preserve the gains of the past and to innovate new ways of ensuring animal welfare. International advocate, confidently on the screen, "Let us harness our collective intelligence and compassion to not only protect our progress, but to propel it even further." Inspired by the trials and triumphs of those who came before, a new generation emerged. Leaders equipped with passion, technology, and an unyielding commitment to justice. Their voices carried the lessons of the past into a future filled with promise, ensuring that the legacy of compassion would never fade. Young leader, confidently addressing the audience, "Our generation is dedicated to forging a world where empathy is the norm, not the exception. Taylor's legacy is our rallying cry for an even brighter tomorrow." In a space where time itself seemed to pause, the tribute to Taylor's journey stood as a testament to the power of compassion. Every photograph, every artifact, and every testimonial echoed the enduring message that even the smallest spark can illuminate the darkest corners. Visitor, whispering in awe, "Every story here reminds me that hope is not bound by time. It grows, evolves, and inspires forever." As the sun dipped below the horizon, it cast a golden glow on a world that had been forever changed. Taylor's journey, which began in the quiet isolation of a desolate gas station, had transcended every boundary to become a universal symbol of hope, resilience, and unity. In the twilight of every ending, there is the promise of a new beginning, a future where every heartbeat echoes the timeless truth. Hope endures. In every corner of the world, from bustling cities to quiet villages, Taylor's legacy lives on. His journey reminds us that compassion is a force that transcends borders, that every act of kindness sows the seeds of change, and that even in our darkest moments, hope is the light that guides us forward. Mark, voiceover with quiet resolve, "Let our hearts remain open, our actions bold, and our commitment unwavering. For in every life we touch, the eternal promise of hope is reborn." In a final act of remembrance and renewal, the community came together one last time. Under a twilight sky, hearts beat as one in tribute to a journey that began with loneliness and blossomed into a global movement. Tonight, they celebrated not an ending, but the eternal spark of hope that Taylor ignited in every life he touched. Community elder, raising a glass with quiet emotion, "Let us honor every step of this journey, every tear, every smile, and carry its light into the future." Within these walls, Taylor's legacy was immortalized, a living testament to the power of one act of kindness. Every image, every word, and every whispered memory bore witness to a life that transformed sorrow into purpose and neglect into nurtured hope. Lisa, gazing at a digital mural, voice trembling with gratitude, "Here, every story is a promise. Taylor's journey reminds us that hope never dies. It only grows stronger in every heart that chooses to care. As a new day dawned, the legacy of Taylor's resilience was passed on to a new generation. In the tender act of planting trees and nurturing gardens, the community found that every ending also heralds a beginning. The memories of a once-abandoned dog had blossomed into an enduring movement, a symbol of renewal that would continue to thrive as long as love endured. Mark, smiling gently, addressing a group of children. Each seed you plant is a promise that no one will ever be forgotten, and that every act of kindness can grow into something beautiful. In the quiet moments between night and day, when the world listens to the soft rustle of leaves and the distant echo of a heartbeat, Taylor's spirit whispers a timeless truth, that hope is eternal. His journey, once marked by abandonment and sorrow, had become a beacon for a world that chooses love over indifference. May we always remember that within each of us burns the light to change the world. And as long as that light endures, hope will forever whisper its promise. And so, as the pages of this long and winding story come to a close, the promise of Taylor's legacy remains. A promise carried on the winds of change, nurtured by every act of love, and echoed in the hearts of those who dare to dream of a kinder world.